Do you need to learn more about starting or running your nonprofit? I'm going to share 5 places to get free education. Let's get into it. Hey y'all, this is Tiffany with Boss on a Budget. I help people start their nonprofits and raise money for their new nonprofits. If you're looking for a community of founders like you and you need help having accountability around raising money for your nonprofit, comment join below and I will send you a link to my private membership where you can get help with fundraising. In this video, I'm going to share 5 places to look if you're looking for free education, because I'm going to be real about this. When you're trying to start your nonprofit and run it, money is tight. But education is so valuable because most things in the nonprofit world, we generally don't know about if we're just getting into nonprofits. And people aren't necessarily open about sharing information or sharing what they know in the nonprofit industry. I hate to be a downer, but that's the reality, and that's something that I hear all the time. But I wanted to share places where you can find education because there are so many great resources out here that you may be missing out on and that you're not aware of. So the first place is really obvious, but I can't say enough how important it is. It's YouTube. And of course, it's obvious because you're on YouTube watching me right now. But I just wanted to share that it's not just a place to find, information about starting a business. It's a place to find information about personal development, how to be a better speaker, how to be a better marketer, all of these things, how to use your computer, how to use Excel, how to create a financial statement, all the things that you could be thinking about with running a business, YouTube has. And there are people who are experts at what they do or just love what they do, and they get on camera and they talk about this kind of stuff over and over and over again. And the reason why I wanted to share YouTube over other social media channels is because of this. It's really easy to record on your phone, not do a whole lot of editing, or just start rambling like you can on maybe TikTok or Instagram or even with YouTube Shorts. But I find that people who tend to take the time to be careful about what they do, they edit, they have production, they do long videos. You can tell by when you look at their videos, they plan those videos, that those people tend to have a higher caliber of information. And I'm not saying that you can't get information on TikTok or Instagram, but I believe it's harder to cull through that information to get credible stuff. Like, people can talk all day about what they think they know or what they want you to know, but when you come across a video that's 10 minutes, that's 15 minutes, and you can tell somebody did their research and then they're dropping links and they're sharing more information, you don't get that other places like you do on YouTube. So I just want to give a big up to YouTube as a place to find resources for everything. It is one of the biggest search engines. You can literally find how to do almost anything. And the other point I wanted to make is that as a nonprofit founder, you should not just be looking for education about nonprofits, because what a nonprofit will do and what a business will do regardless is that it will grow you up. It will expose the things that you're not good at. It will expose the things that you're not pushing yourself on, you're not challenging yourself on. And when you realize that you got to grow in that uncomfortable place where you got to learn and you got to figure out certain things, you can come to YouTube for free and get so much information. So that's the first place I wanted to point out. So the second one is probably out of left field, but just stick with me on this one. It is Facebook ads. So the one thing about Facebook is that a lot of people use it, and a lot of people use it more than just for social media. A lot of people use it as a driver to make decisions, right? And what Facebook is really good at is collecting and mining data. So there's a reason why when you're scrolling on your Facebook feed that after you say something or after you search for something on Google, you start getting ads related to what you searched for. There's a reason for that. It's designed to be that way. It's because they're collecting data on your behavior, on your activities, so they can cater to you. So as a nonprofit, you can leverage the data that Facebook is collecting by using their ads platform to get in front of the people that you want to get in front of. So maybe you want to recruit for your services or for your programs. Maybe you want to advertise for a local event. Maybe you want to ask for donations and you want to use ads as a way to warm people up so they know about your organization so you can get more followers. Whatever it is you want to do to grow visibility, Facebook ads can help to accelerate that. Now, I know you're probably confused because I haven't said anything about education yet, but I just had to give that intro first. Facebook has good tools on how to set up your Facebook ads. So if you want to learn how to run Facebook ads and how to get set up with all of that, you can actually just sign up for the free courses that Facebook has available. So I'm going to be dropping some links in the description below so you can learn how to access them yourself. But those trainings, there are courses, this e-learning that you can pick up yourself to figure out how to set up your ads manager, because it's complicated. I'm going to be honest. I have run Facebook ads. It changes a lot and their language is not natural and it's not intuitive. So go to the source. Look up their information, look up the trainings that they have, and learn how to use Facebook ads for yourself. There are a lot of people who are advertising Facebook ads courses, and you may feel the pressure to go with those people or pay for that. You don't have to start out. You can actually take a Facebook ads course through Facebook. The other thing I want you to be mindful of is if you need help figuring out what people talk about in their ads, or how do they target people, or what do they say, Facebook has an amazing resource called the Facebook Ads Library. It is a free resource where you can look and see all the ads that have run. So if you're looking for a company that's comparable to you, or if you're just trying to see why a company is targeting you and you keep seeing their ads, and you want to see what else they're advertising, maybe you want to see if they're a legit company, right? And if they've been running ads for a while, or if they just started. They're pretending like they've been around for a while, but they just started running ads last week. Whatever you want to learn about what people are doing to run their ads, you can go to the Facebook Ads Library and learn so much. So I know that was kind of a weird resource to offer, but I really do think that you can leverage Facebook ads in so many ways, and you can use the tools that Facebook has built inside of their platform to learn more. The third one is the IRS website. So it's so funny. I get a lot of questions about starting a nonprofit, and honestly, some of the questions that I get can be answered by looking up the IRS documentation, or I see people asking questions in Facebook groups and they would rather ask people who they're not sure know what they're talking about, or not sure they're experts or not, and they would rather take their word for it than actually reading for themselves. Now, I'm not saying though that if you read the documentation and then you ask for insight, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I just see sometimes people don't even go to the source, don't even read for themselves, and just take what people tell them about what the rules are. But if you want to know what the rules are for your nonprofit when it comes to 501c3 status, go to the IRS website. They have so much documentation for charitable organizations. They have a guide that's called Stay Compliant. They actually have online courses. Now, they may not be as entertaining as you want them to be, but there's still good information in there that you can glean for your organization. And I talk a lot about starting a nonprofit. I share information about fundraising. I share information about forms with the IRS. But I like to say, even with me, if you hear something that you're not sure about, or you don't understand, or you just want to make sure you got that right, go to the source. I say that all the time. Go to the source. Go to the IRS if you have a question about something with your 501c3 status, and look on their website because they do have a lot of information. The IRS also has sample policies. So for example, the conflict of interest policy, which is an important policy your nonprofit needs, they have a whole sample right on their website. Another example, there's certain language you're supposed to have in your articles of incorporation, and the IRS lists it on the website. And you should know what that is, because if it's not in your articles, then that's going to mess up your chances of getting approved for 501c3 status. So when I say that the IRS is a great source of information, I actually mean it. Take some time to look around on the website, get used to the language that they use. They use a lot of formulas, and you just need to get accustomed to reading and knowing and being able to navigate the website. Number 4 is a compilation of certain websites. So there are businesses that target people who run nonprofits. They provide services specifically for nonprofits. So they may be donation platforms, they may be email marketing platforms, and they want to target their customers. So what they do is they have all of these different series that they create or webinars that they create, and they bring experts on to talk about all things nonprofit. Even myself, I've been on some of these webinars that have been guests of these companies like Bonterra, like Bloomerang, like Donor Doc, like Virtuous. There are so many companies that cater to nonprofits that as a marketing tool, they provide a lot of education, they put on conferences, and a lot of this stuff is free. And I realize that a lot of people are completely missing out on these services that are free, on these resources that are free, because they just don't even know these companies exist. But a lot of times I've noticed that a lot of the education they provide for nonprofits is around marketing and around fundraising. So if you start Googling around and looking for help with fundraising or help with nonprofit marketing, you're going to start discovering all these conferences. You're going to start discovering these virtual summits, these online webinars. A lot of their webinars are saved. You can go back and go through all of their libraries and see what these experts are talking about. And I'm just going to say there's such good information that they're putting out. So think about the companies that cater to nonprofits specifically, whether they have donor databases, whether they provide email services, website services, donation platforms. They're going to have an education component to what they do. So check them out and see what you're missing, because you're going to discover new consultants that are talking about stuff, new influencers in the nonprofit world, and then you can start following those people and get all that goodness too. Finally, this last one, everybody should know about. It's the local community foundation. I get so sad every time I ask this question when I do a grant writing training. I ask people, do you know about your local community foundation? And most times, at least half the people have no clue that the community foundation is even a thing. So a community foundation is usually like a public charity that provides grants to local and community nonprofits, or they manage local pots of money. So people who have funds, who want to disperse that money, they manage those funds for them. And community foundations are just a great resource because it's their job to identify local community groups and connect donors and funders to them. So they are often very well connected. They often know about what's going on in your local community when it comes to nonprofits. The other thing that I love about community foundations is they usually are really invested in education. They're really invested in supporting the local nonprofit sector. So they will provide free resources or free access to certain services. A lot of things you probably don't even realize that's available. But every community foundation is different and they kind of stand alone. So one community foundation in California may operate way differently than one in New York. So I recommend that you Google your local community foundation, find the one that serves the area that you provide services in, and connect with them ASAP. Just, if nothing else, look on their website and see what they offer, because I guarantee you, you're going to see services, resources that you didn't realize were available. And a lot of that is connected to education. And again, connecting you with local consultants, learning how to manage your nonprofit so you can get better at running your nonprofit. So those weren't the only 5 places. As I'm recording this video, there are other things that are popping up for me. Oh, I could say that. I could say that. But I'm going to save that for another video. But if you want to share places to get free education too, please listen below. I've missed so many things, but maybe I'll record a part 2 to this video. But thank you so much for watching. If you need help with your nonprofit, make sure you visit me at bossandabudget.com. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.